Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the round table of dim. Boy, it's round. Boy, it's dim in here.
I've measured it before. It's actually not a perfect circle.
And we are here to talk about, first of all, I want to tell you, I had so much fun doing something. Ooh, I want to tell you about it.
You had fun.
I had fun. Without you, but I missed you, Rhett. I missed you so much when I was having so much fun without you. I was thinking, boy, I'm having so much fun. And that's where my thoughts stopped. And then later I was like, I'll tell Rhett about it. And then I was like, well.
All on the podcast.
Yeah, here it is. And you'll have so much fun.
I don't know if I'll have as much fun as you did when you did this thing.
Nope, you won't.
Every time you tell a story, it gets buffered a little bit.
But I make it better than it was. Really? Is that what you're saying?
Well, maybe.
Are you saying
not
I'm a
for
liar?
me? Not for me. Well, you are a world-class revisionist history maker. But I'm saying for me, being able to have as good of a time as you had just hearing you talk about it, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. What are you bringing in this podcast?
Just reactions.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I know we're going to dole out some advice. We're going to change your life today, dear listener. But the thing that I had so much fun, listen, if you're visiting LA, I think one of the best things to do, if you can do it, if you're fortunate enough to be able to get a ticket.
Okay.
Going to the Hollywood Bowl is quite an iconic thing to do in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so fun. And it's did I just say iconic? I'll say it again. It's this outdoor amphitheater. It's huge. I mean, the history of this place is hallowed, I'm sure. But you're sitting there in like the wonderful LA weather, looking at this amazing stage way down there, and you're looking at the Hollywood Hills, and
it's right in the middle of everything.
It's just in the middle of everything. It's quite an experience. We've been to a good number of shows at the Hollywood Bowl, some of which have been comedy shows. Mm-hmm. Now, in my experience, a comedy show at like more of an intimate theater, that seems to be the best. If you got somebody who's like good at what they do.
Comedy doesn't do great in big places.
It just doesn't have that same vibe of camaraderie.
The arena effect.
The reactions bouncing off of four walls.
Well, people are literally hearing the jokes at different times. Psychologically, that is not great for timing.
You got that up against you. But so like, I love going to the Largo because
very small.
It's small, but you get some great acts coming through there. I've had a great time there. But
you don't want to watch a comedian on a screen. You want to be able to look right at them.
Well, but the Hollywood Bowl is such an experience in and of itself that if you're seeing the right comedian that could command an audience that big, they're good enough to keep your attention.
It's better than being at home like I was.
So my group of friends that you're not friends with, they like...
I've met all of them and chosen not to be.
They like to book... You're not invited.
Well, because I met all of them.
They're not friends with you.
Each one of them decided I did not want to join.
Weren't invited. They weren't.
I've only met one of them.
They got a good knack for saying, "Hey, let's go to this show, let's go to that show," and I'm like, if I look at my calendar and if I'm in town, I'm like, yeah, comedy show, let's go. We'll just see what happens when we get there or whatever. I honestly didn't take note of who was there, or it might have been so far in advance that I forgot. But the fact of the matter was, when I met up with everybody, that's when we were on our way there, that's when I found out who we were gonna see. And boy, that was a surprise. And I'm pretty sure I'd just forgotten. This is part of like, Netflix has this comedy festival, multiple comedians and multiple venues all over LA for like a couple of weeks.
Netflix is a joke.
Is what it's called. And this was one of the big headlining things. 2 nights at Hollywood Bowl, totally sold out. It was Nate Bargatze. Sebastian, can't remember his last name, but he's pretty famous. Italian dude.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. And then it was Jim Gaffigan.
Okay.
And Jerry Seinfeld. And I'm like,
I've heard of him.
You know, I grew up watching Seinfeld. I've never seen Jerry Seinfeld live. This is going to be awesome. And I'm like, I don't know much about this Sebastian guy, but based on the other 3 guys, this is the most middle America, just white male, mainstream comedy that you could ever assemble.
Right.
Like, let's just get all these white guys together.
Hey, and you're a white guy.
I'm a white guy.
You're gonna be right at home.
I'm a dad. These guys are all dads with self-deprecating, safe humor. You're not gonna raise too many eyebrows.
Pretty clean.
Pretty damn clean.
Nobody said the F word.
I don't think the F word was uttered.
Because Nate does not.
He's very clean.
He doesn't.
So,
and
I saw
Jim
his,
does not.
his Netflix special. Funny guys. I mean,
they're all funny.
Guys.
I know that I'm in the demo, and I know that if you're not in the demo, you might be like, why? One of the things that started happening to me.
If you're not a middle-aged white man, you might.
Well, hold on. We don't know that. I mean, we don't. It's not just our comedy, man. But I'm just saying that I know that these 4 guys together.
Yeah, when you get it all together.
We're the target audience. And what I've started noticing happening is when there's a dad character in a movie and they're making fun of something that a dad does for jokes, I'm like, oh, I do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I've become.
There's 2 types of dad humor.
Dad.
There's the bad jokes that dads make, and then there's all the things that dads do that you make fun of.
I was watching.
That's what they do.
I was watching
a lot of times.
a rom-com that I don't. It's that one with Sydney Sweeney in it, which honestly I actually don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. I mean, Jesse and I watch rom-coms, and I just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't as into that movie as I thought I would be. Mm-hmm. And I told Jesse I prefer when Sydney Sweeney is playing someone that I'm not supposed to like. Okay. Like when her character on Euphoria or her character on White Lotus, like she's so good at that. And there was just something different about her playing like the girl next door-ish thing. I don't know, there's something about it. I just didn't land with me.
You should be a casting director.
But the dad in that movie, they made fun of him because he was visiting Australia. And they were like, yeah, Dad can't stop just talking about the differences between the United States and Australia. And, and then they cut, and then the scene happens, and he's like, it's basically like America, except, and I'm like, shit, that's what I did when I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I fell right into the trap.
And
the dad trap.
I bought a ticket to this experience.
Yeah, you paid for it.
To what you're describing. And let me tell you, I mean, it was.
You ate it up.
I ate it up. This dad just ate up that humor.
You licked it right up with a spoon.
I mean, here was the interesting thing about it. It comes time for the show to start. Well, they had a little jazz band out there first.
Of course they did. And you didn't even think you would like that, but you kind of did.
Yeah. It was all right. It was a little something to eat your little snacks and stuff, too, before they came out.
Did you get some good food? They have some interesting little foodies things.
I'm not going to talk to you about the food because I just don't care about it. We brought our own food.
Yeah, and you can bring your own food. You can bring your own wine.
And it was great. You cannot bring your own wine to all the shows. You couldn't to this one.
Oh.
And you gotta read the things because they were taking people's wine on the way in.
It was dad comedy, and they didn't think the dads could take the wine?
They wanted you to buy the wine once you got in. That was the requirement. Oh. I think they put them all together because at least 3 of them are all in this new movie that's on Netflix.
What about Pop-Tarts?
Yes. I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna push that. But here's the interesting thing. They all 4 came out together on stage.
In a trench coat on top of each other?
Yeah. And then and then they unstack. And it's like, oh, look, it's all 4 of them. What do you get when you stack up 4 middle-aged white dads? A hell of a night of comedy
for a
guy like me.
Go.
they all four came out, and they were just kind of shooting the breeze a little bit, and I was like, okay, they've made a decision here.
Four guys.
What is happening? They're like shooting the breeze with the audience, saying, hey, we're so excited to be doing this, like to be sharing the stage tonight. This is our second night doing it. Last night was a warm-up. You guys are going to get the best show. Last night sucked.
Who's doing the most talking in this situation?
Jerry started.
I would think
Jerry
so.
was doing the talking, and Jim was bantering with him. And then Nate wasn't talking for a long time. And then first thing Nate said was a joke about how he hadn't said anything. But then he started talking. And then Sebastian, they really had to make fun of him because he hadn't said anything yet. But there was a hierarchy here that I was observing. And then I'm like, yeah, they had to talk in a certain order. There's like this hierarchical behavior. What order are they going to do? Are they all going to force stand out there the whole time?
I hope not.
What order are they going to do their sets
Okay,
in?
before you tell me, can I say two things?
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing I want to do is I want to make an observation about that,
Mm-hmm.
who said something and who didn't, and then I want to predict the order. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Unless that ruins something for you.
No, it doesn't. You playing right into my hand. Right?
Yeah. Well, I'm a white dad, and so I feel like I'm right there with you. Okay. Number one, I saw Nate Bargatze do you know how they'll have funny people be on like Monday Night Football or some program, some football, maybe it's College Game Day or something.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be honest with you, out of those four guys, I'm gonna laugh at Nate Bargatze the most, right? He's from the South and we're like the same age, and
Right.
his cadence is so like laid back, but
Right.
that translates to an incredible set of stand-up for me and my personality and my experience. But when you put him in a group like that, I saw the people on Twitter talking about like, who is this guy and what is he saying because people didn't get him. They didn't understand him because
Really?
he's not, Jim Gaffigan, he's gregarious and he kind of gets you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nate Bargatze is a fool.
yeah, he's playing the fool.
He plays a fool.
He plays the fool.
Time.
And he does it great. So I could totally see that. And I don't know, I'm not as familiar with Sebastian enough to know, but I could have told you that
he's very boisterous and he gets physical. But it's not impressions, it's more like he puts his entire body into some of his bits.
But here's the order.
But he's kind of straight-faced when he does it. So he's not goofy. His body's goofy, but his face is like gangster.
Yeah, okay.
He's Italian.
Okay.
Bust your balls here.
I was going to say, the first thing that came to mind was Sebastian, Gaffigan, Bargatze, Seinfeld. That was the order that came to mind first.
Okay.
Okay? And I might stay with that. But then there was a part of me that was thinking that there's something about starting out with Gaffigan because everybody likes him so much. And you could go Gaffigan, Sebastian, Bargatze, Seinfeld. But I'm going back to the original and I'm saying Sebastian, Gaffigan, Bargatze, Seinfeld.
Okay. But you pretty much knew Seinfeld needed to be last.
He can't not be. That's a given. He's the anchor.
I would have guessed that it was, I don't really know Sebastian. So I was like.
I thought you were going to say, I don't really remember. That's the whole thing.
I don't remember. It's over. What do you want to talk about? I was guessing Sebastian, Nate, Jim Gaffigan, Seinfeld. That was my guess.
You can't do that right now, though.
Well, this is what they said. They said, we're going to bring out a hat.
Oh, then my whole thing is blown.
And then we're going to pull balls out of this hat with numbers on it.
Oh, so this just is a psychic game.
And then they said, and then they happened to say, last night it was Sebastian, Nate, Jim, Seinfeld. I was like, oh, that's what it's going to be again tonight. This is just a bit, and because that's what I thought it was going to be anyway. Uh-huh. And they said that's what we did last night. Let's see what happens tonight. And I was like, there's no way that Seinfeld's not going last. I mean, he's the biggest name. It would be weird if he pulled the first one. I mean, it just would.
But you can't do this bit and not be prepared to follow through. It's not a bit.
Jerry pulls the first one.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
He said, and he's number 4.
Oh, okay, it is a bit.
I was like, okay. And then Jim pulls his, and he was like 3. And I was like,
oh, it's the same fucking thing.
It's a bit. It's a bit. And then Sebastian pulled 2. So then Nate pulls 1, going first.
Okay.
So you were wrong here.
I was right about Seinfeld.
In terms of tenure.
Of course.
In terms of tenure, Seinfeld, I don't know how long Jim's been at it versus Jerry, but like,
maybe in terms of actual time doing stand-up, about the same. They're all probably
about the same,
age.
But like, Jerry's the biggest draw here. So it made sense, but what I think they did was Jerry was gonna go last and Jim was gonna go before him, and then it was up to who was gonna go first and second. And Sebastian and Nate switched.
The bit is
between
who
the 2
first.
nights.
Okay.
But the way that they did it, the reason why the bit worked is because it's believable. It added some excitement, and I think it was a good look for Jerry to be like, you know what? I'm gonna act as if we're all on the same level, because they're all super talented and they're all super successful stand-up, but who are we kidding? So I think he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this bit, so I'm not asserting the fact that I've got to go last. You know, it's like checking a little ego at the door and like giving a little bit to Nate and Sebastian, I feel like. So I thought that was nice.
Okay, now in terms of laughs.
Nate was the best.
I was gonna say, I would laugh the most at Nate.
Well, first of all, I love his sense of humor for all the reasons that you said. And he went first, so it was just right out of the gate. He's doing stuff from like, I've heard a few of these bits before, like it was a best of thing. There was like knock it out of the park set kind of a thing. And it was amazing. And within that, there's a lot of dad humor. And then Sebastian comes out, dad humor. Jim comes out, dad humor. And actually, Jerry,
it's not dad humor.
He had a little bit of dad humor, but I was done with the dad humor. So
Jerry is complaining humor.
Observational, but yeah, a little bit of complaining.
Well, let's get specific. He's complaining.
Yeah. But it was nice to because Nate has this like very dialed in and very, like, he has so much momentum. That's why you thought he would be third. Because he's doing so well right now.
Because I just know I was thinking
so he used all the dad
I was just thinking that because Seinfeld is the one who's ultimately in charge of this, well, you don't necessarily want to follow the person that's going to get the most laughs, because then people might be like, oh, wow, Jerry isn't as funny as Nate anymore or whatever. I think Jerry doesn't care. I think he's fine, right?
Yeah.
He's been doing it forever.
They all were amazing.
Well, they all brought it.
Yeah, it wasn't anybody that was like, okay. But Nate was my favorite. But we were just laughing. We were just laughing so hard. It's just simple. Sometimes it's just not, it's like, Christy and I were like, we had a night to ourselves, and I was like, let's go see a movie. And I was like, let's just see something simple, Let's just, I don't want to watch Civil War. I don't want to do that tonight. Let's watch Fall Guy. We're sitting there watching Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling jump off of Jeeps and wink at, what's her name?
Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt. There you go.
You just saw it, right?
Yep. They have different names in the movie, though.
Oh, they did that.
Yep.
Weird.
They did that. It was kind of like that. It's like, I will say, that movie wasn't funny. It was what I will call certifiably mildly amusing.
But Ryan Gosling is funny.
He was amusing in this movie. It just wasn't written for actual comedy.
Oh.
Nope. It was written, it was cutesy and amusing.
So your choice for simple didn't work as a movie, but it worked for comedy.
Well, yeah, it was just, it wasn't heavy. It was light fare. This stuff was just like, laughing for 2 hours straight. Boy, that's some great therapy right there.
And they're all so good at what they do.
I felt great the whole next day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, laughter is the best medicine, Link.
Yeah, I really think it is.
Those guys are so honed. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. It's a totally different thing. Like, because
don't compare yourself.
No, I'm just saying that, like, if we were like, because we've talked about it before. Like, we haven't talked about it. People have asked us, like, you guys should stop by the Laugh Factory or whatever. I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do?
Probably laugh at comedians that aren't us.
I don't have a set.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand how hard it is to get to that point to put together a set that everything kills like that? Like, those guys have experimented in so many different settings to, like, mine the gold, and then you just and it's just these seasoned miners just standing out there and just, like, crapping out their gold in front of it. Now, if you're not,
miners don't crap gold.
If you're not, so if you're in the mine for long enough, it gets in your feces. If you don't like this, though, if you don't like this kind of comedy, it might be insufferable. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's why we keep having this self-deprecating white dad thing that we keep saying, because we're a little self-conscious about how funny we think it is.
Right, yeah.
But we know it's not for everybody. But I think that I've got to amend my list of favorite things to do. It's like seeing a really good comedian.
Oh, it's up there. Is it better than snowboarding?
It's now on the list. I just think that.
Is it better than sex?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No.
Yeah, but I thought that you said that snowboarding was better than sex. Did you say that?
No.
Well, you thought maybe you did say that, though.
I thought I might have said that, but I don't stand by it if I said it. I'm just saying it's entering somewhere down in like the top.
The teens?
10.
Oh, okay. Oh, 10.
There's nothing like just laughing your ass off, man.
But
and then leaving it in the amphitheater.
But you can't just go to a comedy show and expect that to happen. You have to go to somebody you know you're going to laugh at. You can't just like show up at the Laugh Factory.
But don't get me wrong, we paid a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
But then at the last minute, we upgraded to a box for $43 more a couple.
Whoa.
Somehow we found out about that. And then, so you walk in the middle of the amphitheater, there's like a strata there. And like, it's not really close.
What about
it's not
the
really
food
far.
there?
There's food, they'll wait on you.
Hold on, but you brought your own food, so you didn't order anything?
We ordered drinks, and they brought them to us.
See, in that situation, I just go ahead and bad boy it up. I get the food I brought and the food that I ordered.
You could do that. But the weird thing is, when you're sitting there, you sit there in a group of 4, and 2 people are facing the stage, and then the other 2 people are facing those people. So I was looking at the crowd, the whole amphitheater. With the stage behind me. And
then what? Like you were just leaning back really far to watch the comedians?
Yeah, I bent over. I was watching it all upside down. Did I not say that? That's the best way to watch a comedy show.
Upside down.
At the Hollywood Bowl is...
The jokes land totally differently.
Yeah, they do. I had to turn around eventually, but...
Swivels?
Yeah, but I made it awkward for a while. No, I had to pick up the chair and turn it around. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm a dad. I'm just thinking about...
Was it a swivel chair?
Was it a swivel chair? I mean, how did this work?
What's the deal with the swivel chair?
So it's a loose chair that you could just steal?
Yeah, you could steal it. Yeah, you could fold it up.
Doesn't seem safe. Doesn't seem safe.
I had the best time of my life. Laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. You know? They kept telling jokes and I kept laughing at them. It's quite an arrangement. Yeah. I love it. But I won't laugh at a joke if it's not funny. But I was just laughing. I was just laughing and laughing and laughing.
Was everyone...
It feels good to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh.
Was your... Okay.
Now you got to put yourself in a position where you're just laughing.
Now you're trying to make me think that maybe you laughed too much.
I didn't stop laughing. Once I started laughing, every joke made me laugh.
Hold on, but the way that you're talking about it now is making me uncomfortable.
Laughing and laughing and laughing.
What I'm saying is that if you go to a small venue, like... Were the people in your group looking at you laughing and thinking like, whoa, he's laughing a lot?
No, everybody was laughing and laughing.
What was Christy doing?
She was laughing and laughing and laughing. She was laughing more than me.
Okay, so maybe you're making it seem more extreme than it was.
Well, I'm just saying we were all laughing and laughing and laughing. Everybody.
But you weren't doing the thing where
Top of the game.
somebody's laughing so hard where they are the last person laughing.
No.
And then the comedian starts noticing, and if it's a smaller venue, they have to talk to him. You weren't doing that.
I was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I did. There was a little knee slapping too. I slapped my knee a couple of times.
Oh, did anybody get that on video?
Probably.
Huh.
Sometimes I'd punch a friend a couple of times.
Those are the best.
And then I wasn't sitting next to Christy. She was over there for like the first 2 acts. I did move next to her for the last 2. But for the first 2, she was sitting next to some of the girlfriends.
Did she make that choice? Or it was just you divided men and women? You did that
a little bit.
It was one of those things.
Yeah. But I kept turning around and saying to Christy, that's me, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Hey, that is you.
Oh, no.
I was that guy a little bit.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I know that was me. I know that's me. I'm laughing and laughing and laughing.
Thanks for painting that picture.
Yeah. We were loving it and loving it. Having a good old time. It's the best thing ever. Ear Biscuits is supported by Etsy.
We're here to tell you that there's no reason to panic the next time you're searching for the perfect gift. Now you can use gift mode on Etsy.
Gift mode on Etsy takes the stress out of gifting so you can find the perfect item for anyone and any occasion.
It's easy, just tap or click gift mode on your Etsy app or at Etsy.com.
Then you answer a few short questions about who you're shopping for and what they like, and gift mode instantly gives you curated gift ideas based on hundreds of personas.
So for instance, one persona is the golfer.
Okay.
Now, while my dad might call himself, he doesn't call himself a golfer because he says you don't golf, you play golf. He is a person who plays golf, which in this context is still the golfer
Don't
persona.
tell him how you search for it, just get him a gift.
And what this does though, is it will bring up gifts that are relevant to my dad, the golfer.
Okay. Now it's simple to find gifts made by independent sellers for all the people in your life. So whether you need a housewarming gift for the new homeowner or a birthday present for the pickleballer, gift mode has you covered.
Need to find the perfect gift? Don't panic. Try gift mode on Etsy now. Ear Biscuits is supported by Chime.
Summertime is the right time to get new things going, including starting to build your credit.
Summer should be fun, not financially stressful. With the Chime Secured Credit Builder Visa credit card, it's easy to start building credit with everyday purchases and regular on-time payments with no annual fees or interest.
And if your credit scores grow, so could your opportunities for lower rates on loans, like for a car or home.
There are no annual fees, interest, or credit check to apply, and you can use it everywhere Visa credit cards are accepted.
With a qualifying direct deposit, you can get access to your money sooner and can overdrive up to $200 if you sign up for SpotMe. Chime will spot you up to your limit when you make a credit card purchase or cash withdrawal that exceeds your balance.
Chime users have access to over 60,000 fee-free ATMs easily found in the Chime app.
Use Chime to pay anyone, whether they are Chime members or not, and cash out your money fee-free.
With Chime Secure Credit Card, you can improve your credit scores all summer long. Get started today at chime.com/ear.
That's chime.com/ear. Chime feels like progress.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply.
Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
Ear Biscuits is supported by Rosetta Stone.
You know, Lando is planting seeds for a big trip he wants to take. He wants to go to Japan. And he's already learning some Japanese.
Okay. So what does that mean for you?
It means I need to learn it too, I think.
That's right. In comes Rosetta Stone, the most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app that truly immerses you in the language you want to learn.
They've used trusted experts for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered, some of which include Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, Arabic, and Polish.
Rosetta Stone immerses you in many ways. It has an intuitive process to pick up language naturally, first with words, then phrases, then sentences.
The best part is probably their built-in true accent feature, which gives you feedback on your pronunciation so you learn to speak like a pro.
It's truly an amazing value. A lifetime membership has all 25 languages for all language needs you might have in your life. That's a lifetime That's lifetime access to all 25 language courses Rosetta Stone offers for 50% off. That's a steal!
Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, you can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off.
Visit rosettastone.com/ear. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/ear today. That is a choice that you have to make. Have you noticed this, that when you go out with a group of hetero couples, that there's this choice that is made at some point where it's just like,
yeah,
are the ladies gonna talk and the men gonna talk? Mm-hmm. And then there's always one couple that is kind of like, we don't want to do that. Let's not do the boys and girls thing. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes they try to keep the whole group together.
Yeah.
And if that's not what the group dynamic was supposed to be or what the other people thought was going to be.
I mean, if there's you don't know about the marital tension going on in other couples, you think this is just a hetero thing? I mean, that's all you can speak for.
Well, I'm saying, I guess if you, let's say, so if you went out with a gay couple and a lesbian couple.
Oh yeah, they're both either guys or girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And so then
it's harder to split them up.
You got a situation.
You can split them up gay and straight.
Whereas it like, yeah, well that's an interesting thing. That's why you just shouldn't split up. That's why you should just be like, wherever you sit, you sit.
But if you split up gay and straight, then you're with couples. I'm so confused now. So if a bunch of lesbians go to a concert, is it, so it's like a...
I know, I just think, I no.
We can't speak on this.
No, have you gone to the concert with a bunch of lesbians? Yeah,
yes,
you
I
did.
Have.
You did.
You smell like soap.
Yeah, but you were with your wife at the time.
I was.
You did not bust there with a lot of lesbians, so you don't know how they divide.
What we need, we need to have a gay couple in our friend group. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got to have some more queer in our friend group.
Well,
is what you're really saying. That's what you're highlighting, because that's what busts this whole
We've had gay
up.
people in our friend group.
In our friend group, but that particular friend group that I have,
but it's gay people that are not in a long-term relationship, which ends up being like, okay.
Right.
These people have been married for 20 years. This is the person that you're dating now. Not that we can't hang out.
Again, I'm not talking about our friend group.
Okay.
But my friend group you're not invited to, that's another reason you're not invited, because you're straight. We got too many of those. We need some queer in that group.
Yeah, but if you invite somebody because they're queer and then they know that that's why you invited them.
Right.
I mean,
but yeah, you don't want to go about it that way. I don't know how to go about it. It just needs to happen.
You need a bigger gathering and then let friendships happen naturally.
Because if you have a lot of hetero couples and then let's say you got one lesbian couple, can you draw this out for me?
I think I can hold all this in my mind at this point.
Then all the straight women are over here with their charcuterie, and all the straight men are over here with
feels like a generalization.
With their beer.
Jenna, do you like charcuterie?
That is a correct generalization.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Listen, single people don't have a place in this conversation.
Fine.
No, I just mean they're not at the.
Just see myself out.
My friend group is only marrieds, but
only marrieds.
That feels discriminatory.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
It's just you wouldn't like it.
Okay.
Too much married energy.
Okay.
Too much long-term partnership energy.
Oh no, how awful. It might rub off on me.
I'm just like, yeah, do we need lesbian couples, gay couples? I don't know, trans couple, whatever. I don't care. All of that, yes. But singles, no, definitely not. I don't want any.
So only couples.
I don't want no singles in my friend group. But other than that, I'm very open.
You're talking about this other friend group?
Yes.
Specifically?
Yes. Because of, what's the perfect friend group? I don't think you should mix.
There's probably a sitcom that's
You
figured it out.
shouldn't mix singles and marrieds, or like long-term commitment, practically marrieds, whatever you call that.
Why?
Couples.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just
Why?
you wouldn't like it.
No. If the dynamic has been established and it's like 4 or 5 straight long-term married couples, you've already gone in error. You know what I'm saying?
I know we have.
At that point, you can't. It's hard to invite people in. But I'm saying if you're building the friend group from the beginning, like a sitcom cast,
There we go.
at that point, you just got to make sure you're not pushing too hard in any one direction. That's hard to start. But you got to see it coming. You got to see it happening.
I have long-term relationship and married friends that invite me out, and I hang out with them. I don't understand.
And you like it?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're
this
my
is
friends.
no offense to you.
That's okay.
They're gonna love you. You're single. You're living the life. I mean,
Yeah.
all the vicarious
They ask
conversations.
you lots of questions.
It's like,
Yeah.
tell me about the apps.
What's it like to date?
Oh my God. It's like, it's great for the married people because you're such a fascination. But for the single person,
Really,
I'm just
subject
like,
really is
you're-
what they
yeah,
consider you.
You're a specimen.
A specimen. They
Yeah.
consider you a specimen.
That's fine.
That's
But
what.
Also, I have friends.
I'm looking out for
who-
you.
Yeah, but I
You
already
think-
have friends
You-
who are married
you
or in
think
long-term.
they're your friends, but they're really,
They are my friends.
they're like
You're
the people
token.
in charge of the experiment.
They
You
are
are
my friends.
You are a token.
They care about me, and they remember my birthday.
I'm sorry, Jenna.
I guess we're wrong. You're saying that you like it. Being
Because of my
objectified by
friends.
your.
Can I just say, here's what I will add to this conversation.
Don't care.
Not that I haven't already tried to add something, but you didn't do yourself any favors going to that particular comedy show. I mean,
No, I
it was
didn't.
almost like you were officially
Right.
putting the clamp down on the friend group that
Right.
it's just only straight people, straight married people. You went to that comedy show as a group, and like forever, that group is just that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I would have said no to that invite. That's not
Yeah,
a
see,
comedy show.
she would have said no.
I mean, I'm sure it would have been great, but like, it's not a comedy show I'm necessarily
Yeah.
interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand that. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
What you need to do is go to like a Julio Torres show.
Is it though?
You know,
Isn't it exactly
you
what
know
I'm
about
saying?
him? That MFer is funny. The guy that did that Shapes special I told you about. He was like on SNL, and he was on the a Spooky or whatever that show was with Armisen.
Okay.
Anyway, I bet you if you went to that guy's comedy show, you come back with some interesting folks. That's all I'm saying. That's what that comedy show.
I
I'm
like
going
a broad range of comedians.
to. Okay.
And I'd like to have more friends, to get back to that aren't straight and monogamous.
Oh, you want polyamorous?
I don't know what I want.
Hey, you
but
don't have to look too far in this town.
You really don't. I could point you to a few.
But that's what's gonna. I mean, the track that I'd like to choose for us to go back to is the one where you're like, the boys go to one side and the girls go to the other side of the dance, and then they don't dance with each other.
Well, we were in a friend group
couples
at one
split
point
up.
where there was a couple who actively said, "Let's not do that." I remember several times,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay, you know what? This is kind of interesting. Yeah, we don't have to do." And of course, we come from like church,
Split them up.
whereas like right from the beginning, they were like, "We can't we can't be together." Like in college, it was like the men's group and the women's group, the men's Bible study. In fact, I remember when we were freshmen, the guys in Campus Crusade, we were in 2 Bible studies, if you recall. We were going to the Campus Crusade Bible study, and we were going to the InterVarsity Bible study, which was co-ed. We quite liked it. And then the Crusade guys got us, and they said, "You guys are going to a co-ed Bible study? Guys, you can't really be open and honest with the women there, can you?" And we were like, "I guess you're right." Like, we, and then we kind of followed that track for quite some time. So we actually have to actively work against the inclination to be like, well, you sit down and you just, men talk to each other and the women talk to each other.
The second half of the show, I went over and Chris and I sat next to each other,
That's
and we
beautiful.
laughed and laughed.
That was a
and laughed.
beautiful one. You slap her knee?
Laughed and laughed and laughed.
Did you elbow her?
I grabbed her shoulder and gave her a squeeze.
Reach over and bite her a little bit.
Gave her a shoulder squeeze. I did not bite her. No.
If something gets funny enough,
you start gnawing. I gotta have something to gnaw.
Just reach over and bite the shoulder a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
that's never happened.
Try that next time. If it's funny enough, you'll bite. You will bite your wife if things get funny enough.
Did I say anything I need to take back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of us probably. But we can't worry so much, man.
Well, I'm just saying I acknowledge that.
Let Jamie worry about that.
Yeah.
We need to have more, a little more diversity in our friend group.
Right.
There are different races in my friend group, I will say that. It's not just a bunch of white people.
Okay.
Just find a way to laugh. That's really what I'm after here.
Yeah.
Finding a way to laugh, going to a place where there's a professional who their job is to make you laugh, and if they can do that reliably, it's worth the ticket. That's just nice.
I agree. I also agree that the shirt that I'm wearing would look great on you. It's the
International Darts League.
Oh yeah, it's got.
You a
something
member
on the
of
back.
a league?
What's it look like on the back?
Look at that. It's well, you're not turning around enough. Turn around a little bit more.
All right, swivel chair.
Is it a swivel chair? Get the International Darts League shirt. Of course, we play darts on Good Mythical Morning, and now you can feel like you're part of the squad. Yeah.
Mythical.com.
Single, married, monogamous, or not.
Yeah.
Straight, gay, whoever you are, whatever you do it in the International Darts League shirt.
I like that.
Whoever you are, whatever you do. Okay.
Let's listen to a voicemail.
Hey, Rhett and Link, this is Thomas from Saxony, Germany, and I just heard the last year Biscuit and realized that I have a Alchemist LP, which is worth around $150. So I love your show. I heard any of the last episodes, and thank you a lot for doing this. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You're welcome. And thank you for proving our point from last week.
It may have been somebody doing an impersonation. We don't know.
Oh, you think? You think someone's acting like they're from Germany?
No, we're gonna trust
prove
him.
that we can receive international calls?
Yeah, I actually think he is from Germany, and I think that this proves that where there's a will, there's a way. You can get through. You can call our number somehow. I don't know how it works. Some people said Skype. I don't think WhatsApp actually does work, Jamie, because I read about that. But we're still, you know what? We're still looking into it. If there's a way to make it easier. But he proved you can get through.
1-888-EARPOD1. Are you gonna send me that Alchemist LP? I mean, is that what you were saying?
No, he wasn't saying that. He was just saying like, hey man, look, we like the same thing and I got it.
And I helped him realize that it was worth more money than he thought.
Oh.
I think is what he was saying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and now he's gonna keep it probably. You don't need to send it a link.
If you go to rhett.link.com
The shipping would
or
be
mythical.com, I think they go to the same place, and then you look at the contact information, you can figure out how to mail us something. I just put that out there.
Do not mail your LP to Link, please.
Don't. But if anybody else is listening and they want to, they should. If you want to get rid of it.
Yeah, asking for handouts now.
I'm asking for
you can go and
gifts.
buy your own thing.
Well, it's limited edition, you know.
Okay. All right. Do you want to talk any more about this German man, or do you want to hear another voicemail?
I don't have anything else to say about the German man. What do you want me to say about the German man?
You should have been like 9 when I said that.
9.
Isn't that no?
Yes.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's also a number in English, right after 8.
Seems like it should be 0. Is 9 in German 0?
No.
0 is probably 0. It's probably the same.
Okay.
A lot of crossover. Let's hear another one.
Hey, Rhett and Link. This is Max from Illinois. I was just listening to the latest episode, and Rhett said something about taste buds, and an epiphany hit me. Have you guys ever thought about calling each other taste buds? Because you guys are eating and trying things most of the time on the show. I feel like there's a whole line of merch that could just be your favorite morning taste buds. I don't know. Just a thought.
Well, I guess we're going to talk about this publicly now. I mean, we don't
We
have
haven't
to.
already?
I don't know if we have.
Okay, here we go.
This is a good story. This is a good story. We can tell it now in good, clean conscience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You may recall, not too long ago, we had a hit show on the Food
Blockbuster
Network.
television show.
It was called Inside Eats with Rhett Link.
It was.
But it wasn't originally called that. When we were batting around different names.
Mm-hmm. This show's gonna go for seasons.
I mean,
decades. This is gonna be.
How could they say no to this show?
Because it's gonna be the mark that we put on entertainment. It better be a good title for a show.
Every single episode is basically just a big commercial for a brand. People are gonna be knocking down our doors and Food Network's doors, just asking us to make this. I mean, this is gonna be like our Triple D. Is kind of what. Mm-hmm. No, we never said that, but there was a thought that could happen. And so I don't remember who came up with it.
You gotta have a whole list of names.
Yeah, there was between me and you and Stevie and probably other people. We were putting names on a list, and the name that everybody really liked was Taste Buds because hey, we're best friends. We taste things. Taste Buds, double entendre.
Done. Let's do it.
And then when you come up with a name that you like, and you are a sophisticated media outlet. Mm-hmm. You go through this process of what they call clearance. And actually, if I recall correctly,
it made it.
Food Network is the one that handled the title clearance.
Yes.
And when they came back and said, clear.
Let's do it. We worked up title cards.
When we announced the show, it was Taste Buds with Rhett Link.
Yes, we announced it. And then
we find out that there is a podcast called Taste Buds hosted by one of the guys from Impractical Jokers. I can't remember. I know what he looks like. I can't remember his name. And I'm a fan of those guys. I never listened to the podcast, obviously, because we would not have named our show the same thing as their podcast.
Right.
And it was funny because I think they ended up talking about it. We found out about it real fast.
Well, yeah, because it's not an unpopular podcast. I mean, it's
right. Yeah. It was very.
I don't know how we missed it. Like
we didn't.
Even in the Google search, we
didn't miss it.
It didn't come across our desk until people started saying, "Well, this is going to be weird because these guys already have they have a show and they've kind of been calling it that for a while."
And I don't remember exactly what we said at that point. It was just like a kind of like, let's not talk about this widely. Let's just change the name quietly. Or because it's like sometimes you don't want to be like apologize for something that you didn't mean to do because all of a sudden it's like a bunch of people who didn't know about it now suddenly know about it. So
that's the Streisand
effect,
they say.
So
it's just like okay, fine.
Okay, yeah,
we'll come up with another name.
We're not going to compete. There was talk. There was talk of what if it was Taste Buddies. There was talk of that. And we were like, no. If I was those guys, I would not be happy about that. We're not going to do that.
It was like, we put ourselves in their shoes because we knew that once our show hit the Food Network air, that anything like we were going to define not only genre, but our title was going to become ubiquitous. With
it was going to be a full solar eclipse.
So much success. Is that why the show wasn't reordered after its little mini season?
I will say.
Because we couldn't name it Taste Buds?
There was a lot of other options, but every one of them had a clearance problem. And when I'm in situations like this, a lot of times I will get my wife involved. She's got great ideas. I consult her regularly on creative ideas. And I was like, we can't come up with a title for this thing that's not already done. She came up with a list, and on her list was Inside Eats. And I was like, I don't really like it that much, but it's the best name that any of us have come up with that is clearable, and so we're going with it.
Okay.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. Jesse got to name the show, and of course, then you know what happened with it.
She killed it.
But what we did,
DOA.
No one else can use that for a while because we took it for a little bit. We took it. We tarnished it.
Hey, you can have it. I put it to you that way. You can have it. We're not bitter about the show not working. I'm grateful that it didn't work. We learned a lot of lessons.
It was very important for us.
Why did it not work? I don't know. I actually don't know.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Well, not really.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care about opening that can of worms, but
There was another.
I'll just say, I personally am glad.
Here's what I would like to talk about.
That it didn't work.
I'm really glad it didn't work either. Here's what I do want to talk about. What should we call ourselves?
Okay.
Because that was the starting point of this. He heard Taste Buds and he's like, you guys should call yourself Taste Buds. Where I thought he was going with it is like, how should we address each other? You know? Like if
I've always wanted to be a Dale.
Dale?
Dale, D-A-L-E, Dale.
Dale.
Dale!
Hey, I mean, we never call each other or anything. We don't have like.
Linky Poo or anything like that. I never called you that.
Link! Well, I mean, on the show.
Link! Link! That's what I've been calling you for years.
Rhett. That's what I call you. Rhett. I don't like to really pronounce it.
Link! That's what I say.
Rhett.
I get low like that. Link! When I want to really get your attention.
Rhett.
I throw it like a bark.
Rhett.
Link! 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 It's very barky is how I usually get your attention.
We referred to ourselves as the Peanut Butter Boys.
Yes.
On GMM.
We have.
I mean, we could have a show called the Peanut Butter Boys. What kind of show would that be?
Yeah.
That could be back on Food Network. Two middle-aged white dads eat
everything
peanut butter.
With peanut butter. The Peanut Butter Boys with Dale and Luke.
Yeah.
Can I be Dale in this scenario?
Well, I'm going to be Link. I don't want that to be your name.
Well, what you can be first. Lincoln Dale. Lincolndales.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I'll let you be first if you let me be Dale.
Call me Uncle.
Halfway through their illustrious career, they switched up from Rhett Link to Lincolndale. We're only halfway through. You see the context there? Halfway through.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we halfway through with our career? Because now I'd like to switch our relationship from being friends to like you can be my nephew.
I don't think that's how it works.
Uncle Link.
I don't want to call you Uncle.
God brother.
That's actually funny.
We're God brothers.
God brothers. Man, if we were still Christians.
We used to be God brothers.
If we were still Christian doing some comedy, the God brothers. The God brothers are coming to a mega church near you.
But
they're not brothers.
Nope, they're God.
But God.
Brother.
They're not God, but they're into God.
And now that they're not into God anymore, it's G-A-H-D brothers.
God brothers.
Yeah, brothers. G-A-T brothers? Okay.
Yeah, we're still workshopping, as you can see.
Yeah. I mean, we have a name for our new show, and we cleared that one. We did the diligence, what they call due diligence, and I think that's D-U-E, diligence. It's the diligence that's deserved. After learning our lesson from Taste Buds, we made sure that the name, which I'm not going to accidentally say, because it's not time.
Do you know off the top of your head, Jenna, when we're announcing that, as it relates to this?
Oh,
a little bit later.
Do not. I do think it is a little later, yeah, than when this comes out.
I feel good about it.
Because this is like mid-June that we're talking. That this is out. So, cramp. Oh, cramp. I shouldn't have had that decaf coffee. I should have had water.
You saying that you're cramping because you had a coffee?
I'm cramping because I had another diuretic instead of a water.
Really?
All day long.
Like your stomach is cramping? Or your calf?
Let's compare what we've drank today. Is it drunk or drink? I always just kind of alternate.
I had a big glass of water.
So first thing I woke up, big glass of water. That's what I do. Now
I had a big glass of water with my pills.
There was creatine
because
in it,
I was out of kefir.
What kind of give you some cramps?
I usually drink kefir straight out of the bed.
Kefir first.
Kefir with my pills.
I'm
out of kefir. I drink a big glass of water.
What's
the next
thing?
Mr.
Hydration doesn't start with water because you've been doing water all night.
Yeah, all night.
I haven't done any water during the night. So first thing is water. Then a double long shot espresso. That is my pre-workout. It's just a straight black espresso.
Oh, okay. A double shot.
They're called long shots, but I think it's essentially the same. It's just more water, but it's the same amount of caffeine as a double shot.
Well, I had just a coffee, so like a single shot.
And I know you're not supposed to have coffee within 30 minutes of waking up, whatever. Okay, I'll be all right. Then after the workout, smoothie.
Me too. See, we're on the same
And smoothie's got a lot of liquid in it. I pee so much in the morning because of that.
Yep, and then you come into work. But I have a big thing of water.
And I don't.
In my car, and I drink that on the way into work.
I don't.
Yeah.
How come you're not like literally like wet pants as you walk in? How do you do that? How do you have a smoothie and then you drink water on the way? I would be pissing myself. I'd have to wear
my urethra at some point. There's a mechanism in it which like pinches.
This is going back to the robotic penis from last episode.
Man, I want to go back
there.
I can hold my pee.
Usually I'll have a green tea
when you get in here.
When I get in here. And that's what I had today.
And what did I have? I had
decaf green tea.
Oh, it was?
I've been giving you decaf green tea.
Oh, she's been slipping me decaf.
You told me you wanted decaf green tea from now on. So every time
I'm glad I asked you that.
There you go.
And you're right, because I don't need to have that much caffeine, because the next liquid I had was lunch, and I had a yerba, and that's got caffeine in it, and it's still like a tea. And then now this, no water since the very beginning of the day. Now this is, I'm not
at work on this, man.
I know, like I'm cramping. What?
Well, that's the decaf coffee.
I picked up my Air Up because is the thing that makes me drink, because it's got the smell of the water, and I sucked on it. There was nothing in there, and I was like, I'm not gonna fill this thing up.
Yep, you're lazy. You're helpless.
Yeah,
you're
we need a spigot in our.
I'm glad we did that.
Office.
I'm glad we went down that. What have you drunk today, boy? That was worth it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're middle-aged dads, so we got to stay hydrated. Got to keep each other informed. What are you gonna drink when you get home? A little nightcap, a little port.
Well, I'll drink the rest of my water that's in my car on the way home. And then when you'll
drink on the way home because you're thirsty?
Because it's there, and I like to just drink. When in doubt, drink.
Listen, I wish I drank as much as you, but I'm just so fascinated by it. Like a specimen, like Jenna and her married friends.
And then when I get home,
I look at you and I'm like, he's drinking in this. I mean, the commute's not that long.
I only drink water usually when I get home.
For the rest of the day?
Yeah. But including my one Topo Chico. Which is well timed for the treat of the evening.
So I do the LaCroix, and I will do a diet, caffeine-free soda. Trying to cut back, but I'll get one of those. That's crampy time too.
Yeah, can't do it.
It feels like maybe.
Can't do it.
And then water before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I camel up a little bit before I go to bed.
I do that. I fall asleep drinking water. The one that's in my car is the one that's by my bed.
Yeah, it's the same bottle.
Yeah.
You carry it.
Yeah. And I should have brought it in, but I was afraid I would leave it at work. So I left it in the car. Now I wish I had it.
I did something that
I'm thirsty.
I did something that I don't ever do. Me, as we've established, me and you not big drinkers. You know, I do spill wine on myself for like decoration of shirts and stuff.
You're not a big,
but I'm not a big drinker of alcohol. Notable alcoholic experiences, and I shouldn't say alcoholic experiences that involved alcohol so far this year that were notable, that I will say I kind of enjoyed. Now, first of all, a cocktail with a good meal, preceding a good meal, a good restaurant with a good bar, a mezcal something, I'll do that. I enjoy it. Just one. But when NC State got into the Sweet 16, I broke out some of that. You know, people give us liquor all the time. And they give us
I don't know what to do with it.
They give us nice liquor. And I get to give it to my friends. You know, I'm just like, I have friends that want to drink, and if they're at my house, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, this bottle of scotch is like $400. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do anything with it.
Really?
You know, it's like it was a gift, and I'll drink a little bit with you right now, but
you can have it.
But there was a good bottle of scotch, and I was like, and Tim, he likes to break out the celebratory scotch. The pack wins.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you gonna do that?
I'm gonna do that. And I had a little swig.
How did that go over?
It was great. It was great. I just put it on some ice, you know.
Okay.
And I was like,
a little scotch on the rocks.
I was like, this is fun. I don't want to do it again right now, and I don't want to do it for a while. But I enjoyed it. But then I played golf for the first time in like a year the other day. And
I saw that on your Instagram. Kinda.
And it was, there's the girl with the cart.
No, what do you mean?
Oh yeah.
The girl with the cart.
The cart girl. Yeah, she's got a cart that's got goodies in it. She's driving around. She's selling things
like not a golf cart. Snack cart.
Yeah, it's a golf cart that has been converted into a snack cart.
Oh, so she drives around.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile snack.
Yes, and she has a
store.
She has a credit card machine.
Mm-hmm. Of course she does.
It's talking to the clouds somehow, and she's transacting right there. And she's got beers. She'll mix you a little drink.
A scotch?
Oh, I didn't have a scotch. I had a beer. I was like, I'm gonna have a beer while playing golf. That's what men do.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. It was like, okay, this is pretty good in this context.
A cold beer
on a not so hot day.
Okay.
She had I got a Caesar wrap. She had a Caesar wrap and some chips as well.
This is what you're telling me about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm out there. I'm on the golf course eating a Caesar wrap, and I'm like,
you got it made.
Caesar wrap. If I could show this experience to a caveman right now, and to see this guy with these weird synthetic clothes on, with this long club hitting this little white ball on this immaculately manicured lawn. And this girl coming up in this like animal that's like got wheels and is rolling around, and she opens it up, and there's this perfectly curated, little wrapped up piece of food. Like his mind would be blown.
Yeah.
It's like, what is happening?
And there's a language barrier, so.
Yeah, he would be grunting a lot. But it really hit me how good I got it.
Well, I'm glad that you
drinking
finally
a beer,
went
eating
golfing,
a Caesar wrap. It takes a lot. You got to find somebody that'll do it with you.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody that'll do it with you. Nobody likes to do it anymore. It's just not a thing anymore. It's dying, it seems like.
Okay.
I'm resurrecting it.
How did you shoot? Is that the proper way to ask? What did you shoot? What's your handicap?
I've never played enough to establish
Did
one,
you?
Link.
Just tell me what I should. How did you do?
I kept score, and I shot a 92, which is 20 over what you're supposed to get, is over par. Which, for a man that doesn't play very often, I was pretty proud. I finished strong.
So 18 holes, you did 20 more than what you should have done. So on each hole, you averaged one more stroke.
Average. What that means is
that's actually, yeah, okay.
There's like a hole where
that's pretty good.
I made an 8 on one hole that I was supposed to make a 4 on. Like things.
So you
fall
birdied
apart.
something.
Link. Once I got my groove, I finished. I know no one cares, but I do. Maybe you will. Par, 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 birdie, par, and I was like, "Oh, I have found something."
Did you want to do another 18 after that?
No. My back was like, you are done for the day. But you know what it was? It was
now you want to go back.
My back. That's what happens, man. Even if you finish horribly, one good moment of greatness, and you're like, yeah.
One good moment of greatness.
It keeps you coming back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do it again, but in LA, it takes like 5 hours.
This is the best podcast we've ever done. We've talked about what we drank today.
Yep.
And now we're talking about golf.
That's where we're at.
I mean, this is my favorite episode.
We started talking about going to see Jerry Seinfeld.
Seeing Seeing the whitest
with all your married friends.
men line up.
This is the whitest thing.
This is the whitest dad episode.
Hey, listen, Nate Bargatze plays golf. I'd love to play with him. That would be great. We'd get along. We'd have a good time.
He talks about how his dad, he grew up with his dad as a magician.
Oh yeah.
He talked about how he would go to like growing up, they would be like carnivals that he would be the magician at.
Yeah.
But there would also be a donkey jumping off a high dive. And so he proceeds to describe what it's like for a donkey to go off of a high dive.
And you can only imagine what it would be like.
And it's like, well, I mean, it's hard to compete with that if you're a magician. is the point he makes.
Yeah, right.
But then when he describes the mechanism of getting a donkey to jump off of a high dive,
it's a little forceful.
It's a bit cringy. It's a bit uncomfortable.
Meaning they did not make the choice.
No.
They are forced into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes that very funny. You know.
Yeah.
And not something where you feel sorry for the donkey. You actually feel sorry for his dad. So
yeah, that's genius right
how
there.
You do
Make him feel sorry for it. Make him feel sorry for his dad. I saw a video of a donkey with a goat in its mouth. It was a goat that had gotten into the wrong part of the farm, and it was a mean donkey that picked this little goat up by its haunch.
Oh.
Like a hot dog. It was like biting across the back of the goat and then running around with it. And then they had to get it to drop that goat. And the goat seemed fine after that.
Okay, cool. I saw a video of a guy cradling a baby donkey like it was a child.
People will cradle a donkey.
That is so cute.
And they're like, you haven't lived until you've cradled a donkey.
A donkey can be a good pet if you know what you're doing.
I believe they're really, really intelligent.
Yeah, and they'll protect your cows.
And have you heard they can high dive as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not really into it, but they will do it.
Dive is a term used very loosely.
They will do it.
I wish I remembered his bit so I could be funnier about it. You got a wreck?
I do. Speaking of funny middle-aged white guys.
Keep it going. So you didn't know. Are you following?
I had no idea that you were going to talk about that, and I was going to recommend Conan O'Brien Must Go.
Here we go. All right. We need to put a warning on this episode.
Yeah, definitely. Trigger warning.
Two white cis male.
Yeah, just completely white cissed out this whole time. I'm sorry.
We had to get
it. Hey, listen, we had to get it out of our system.
You know.
But I got a little bit more. Conan O'Brien Must Go. First of all, Conan is funny as hell. Always has been. He's 60 years old now. Still as silly as he's ever been. And he lives in that silliness in a way that, I mean, he's been doing his travel bits on his show.
Right.
And that has always been like him just being himself and interacting with people. But the premise of the show is like it's an international fan that has talked to him on his podcast, and he goes and meets them and kind of gets involved in their life and does something. And I've only seen the first two. There was like a Norway episode, I think, and then the second episode was Argentina.
But that's all you can
funny.
recommend.
I saw the first two as well. Man.
They were both great. The Argentina episode he's relentless. Conan is like relentless. Like he never lets up. Like if we were trying that hard to be funny, we wouldn't be as funny. But like I would be like, hey man, we need to pull it back a little bit. Like we're going. Like he is like, you just gonna put me in this situation, and I'm gonna be a fool the whole time. And it's just so great.
Kind of makes me think I could go to Germany and get that guy's record.
Well, then you just be making. Well, you can't bite Conan, you know.
Okay.
But I recommend it. It's just good, clean. No, it's actually not that clean in places, but it's fine.
Good middle-aged white man, like just rack it up.
I really like the show also, I will say. So
and Stevie did too. I was talking to Stevie about it. She's a lesbian.
Yep.
You know, she loves it.
Single people, lesbians?
So I think Conan might even have a broader appeal than the guys that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, let us have it. Call us. Use hashtag earbiscuits, of course, if you want to do that. We'll talk at you next week. Appreciate it.
Hi, Rhett and Link. This is Chelsea calling from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Yes, you heard that right, Regina. Anyway, I was just listening to Ear Biscuits where you were discussing that people internationally couldn't call in. So here's my shot, and hope to hear it on the show. Thanks so much. Bye.